The Brooklyn Bridge, Alaska, and Apple computers are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 3rd, 2022. Wow, 2022. It is the third day of the year. We got 362 days left. It is the first Monday in the second week, and it's the 14th day of winter. We got 76 days until spring. If today's your birthday, you're a Capricorn. Today is National Drinking Straw Day. Yes, the straw gets a day. On January 3rd, National Drinking Straw Day commemorates the date of 1888 when Marvin C. Stone received the patent for his paper drinking straw. Since then, a variety of drinking straws have been used. I mean, we got all kinds. But it's believed that the Sumerians used the very first drinking straws to drink beer. Archaeologists speculate that they used the straws to avoid solid byproducts of the fermentation process that would settle at the bottom of a glass or a cup of beer. They actually found in Sumerian tombs dated back like 3000 BC, they found straws made out of gold that were inlaid with precious stones and stuff like that. Yeah, so go get a straw. These days here in Oregon, they have to ask you if you want a straw. You don't just get one like the old days with a drink. You have to ask for it. All right, let's see what else January 3rd has given us. 1749, Benning Wentworth issues the first of the New Hampshire grants, leading to the establishment of the state of Vermont. 1861, the American Civil War. Delaware votes not to secede from the United States. I didn't even know that was an option for them. I mean, obviously it was an option, but I didn't know it was a thing that they had actually pondered to where they had to take it to a vote. 1870, construction work begins on the Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. Now, this is probably the second most famous bridge in the United States, I'd think, behind the Golden Gate Bridge. I was trying to think of any other bridges that might be more famous than this, but I think the Brooklyn Bridge is number 2 behind the Golden Gate Bridge. The Brooklyn Bridge is kind of a hybrid mix between a cable-stayed and suspension bridge, spanning the East River between the boroughs of Manhattan and Brooklyn. It took a little over 13 years to be completed. It was started on January 1st, 1870, like I'd said, and was actually completed on May 24th, 1883. And it was the first fixed crossing of the East River. And at the time, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. And they got their money's worth out of this bridge. I mean, 100,000 cars cross every single day. They figure around 40,000 bicycles and about 10,000 pedestrians cross this bridge every single day. At least that's the average. I'm sure it's going to slow down a little bit on Sunday or Saturday or whatever, but that's the average. The planning for the Brooklyn Bridge started about 50 or 60 years before they actually started working on it. They figure somewhere around 1810, 1820, they started planning on putting a bridge there, because at the time there was just several ferry crossings to get you across the East River. Now, it wasn't always just cars, foot traffic, and bicycles. They actually had rail and cable cars going across here for a while. Cable cars and elevated railroad used the bridge until 1944, while trolleys ran until 1950. I've been to New York a few times in my life, and I've never crossed the Brooklyn Bridge. That's something I plan on doing when I go there this year, probably during the summer. 1933, Minnie D. Craig becomes the first woman elected as Speaker of North Dakota's House of Representatives. This is the first woman to hold a speaker position anywhere in the United States. 1947, proceedings of the U.S. Congress are televised for the first time. 1959, Alaska is admitted as the 49th state. 1977, Apple Computers is incorporated. So there's some really neat movies about Steve Jobs and the whole Apple thing. One of my favorites, which I don't think was very well done as far as the acting or whatever, but I think it was a great story. If you ever get a chance, watch The Pirates of Silicon Valley about Steve Jobs, Apple, and Microsoft and Bill Gates and the, back and forth they had over the years. But it's a very interesting TV movie if you ever get a chance. Anyway, so Apple was incorporated on this day in 1977. 1990, the United States invasion of Panama. Manuel Noriega, former leader of Panama, surrenders to American forces. If you ever see video or anything of the invasion there and you see guys with looks like, we called it cabbage patch, but if they look like they got almost dreadlocks on their helmet, what it is it's cut up old BDUs or camouflage pants or whatever, and we would put it on our helmets to make you look like a bush if you're hiding in the jungle. So if you see those guys on any video of the invasion of Panama, that's my old unit, the 7th Infantry Division. We called it cabbage patch, some people called it ragtop, whatever. 2009, the first block of the blockchain of the decentralized payment system Bitcoin, called the Genesis block, is established by the creator of the system, Satoshi Nakamoto. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So here's a bummer. Probably around 2011, my son, he was probably about 17 at the time, was trying to get me to buy Bitcoin. He wanted $1,000 for Bitcoin, and I'm like, there's no way, that's stupid. This is never going to take off. I so wish I would have given him that $1,000. But I mean, you can't look back at things like that and wish you would have. I mean, I could have bought Google many years ago. And I didn't. But yeah, that one's always burned me. He was totally right. Movie is released on January 3rd, 2006, The Last Holiday. This movie didn't do well in the theaters. A lot of people didn't like it. I liked it. This is a movie with Queen Latifah. She's one of these, for lack of a better term, a ball-busting businesswoman. She's really hardcore, really career-driven, and just kind of cutthroat in business. Then she finds out she has terminal cancer. And it changes the way she is. She just kind of just looks and realizes, I've totally lived my life wrong. And she goes on this last holiday. It's a good movie. It's a little sad. You'll shed some tears, but if you get a chance, watch that one. It was done by Robert Zemeckis, so you know it's a good movie. Born on January 3rd, 1981, Eli Manning, the less popular of the two Manning brothers. He is a really good quarterback, or was. He's retired now, but he was really good. It's too bad that he gets overshadowed by Peyton Manning, his older brother, who was just phenomenal. But Eli's no slouch at all. I mean, he was the MVP of 2 Super Bowls, and he beat the New England Patriots both times. He was selected by the San Diego Chargers in the 2004 NFL Draft, but traded directly to the New York Giants an hour later. So this was a really interesting story. Eli Manning is the son of Archie Manning, who played in the 1970s, I think a little bit in the 80s. He was pretty good, but he was always on really bad teams. Anyway, so Eli told San Diego, I don't want to play for you guys. I mean, they had other quarterbacks ahead of him. He would have been riding the bench, and it just wasn't a good fit for him, he said. And then he told San Diego, don't draft me, don't draft me, don't draft me. And they did anyway. Well, his agent said he's going to sit out the whole year, so you wasted a draft pick. So San Diego traded him to New York Giants right after the phone call, the story goes. And he spent his whole career in New York. Eli Manning retired from the NFL after the 2019 season. Well, after the Super Bowl was over in January, he retired. Died on January 3rd, 2014, we lost Phil Everly. He was the younger of the 2 Everly brothers. If you don't know who the Everly brothers were, they were an American country rock duo known for steel string acoustic guitar playing and close harmony, it says. I just remember them being the Everly brothers. Probably their most famous song was Bye Bye Love. He died of COPD, I believe. Well, it says lung disease, but I'd heard he had COPD, and lung disease can be so many different things. Sadly, his brother, Don Everly, just died this last August 21st, 2021. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day, be nice to each other.